ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितप्रज्ञानघनप्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। Om. Yeah, maybe at least one person needs to keep the video on. That will be good. Yeah. Okay. So this chapter 3, which is Karma Yoga, we saw there were 3 parts to it. First is Nishtadvayam Yoga Dvayam, which is Karma Yoga. Then Shreshta Achara and Kama Krodha Jaya. So in that we have completed the Karma Yoga part to a great extent. Basically, Karma Yoga is whatever we are doing, whatever, yad juhoshi, yad ashnasi, yad karoshi, yathasi tat kurushvam adarpanam. Whatever I am doing, I do it with an attitude of submission to the Bhagavan, and whatever I get is prasada bhavana. The moment this is there in all our activity, in our day-to-day work, that itself will start becoming karma yoga. So ahankara will start subduing, and that when it starts getting fragile and fragile, the ahankara, automatically the mind will become more and more calm, more and more clear, and then that is a prepared mind for Atma Jnana or Brahma Jnana. Okay, so Karma Yoga is the first part which we saw, and in that we have seen all the cycles and how it is not just what you do individually, but collectively what everyone does is what this whole world is. That is why whenever we say the world is our reflection. If you say the rains are unpredictable, it means we are unpredictable. If you say the heat is unpredictable, we are unpredictable. Because nature reflects exactly the collective being of everyone together. That's how the nature also works. Parasparam bhavayantaha shreya paramavapsyataha. So it's a coexistence. We do yajna for them to do their job. They do in give us prasada by which we can continue to live properly. So if we are going to take care of our needs without doing any harm to the nature, we will have enough for everyone. That is why the great person who said there is enough for everyone's need, but there is no enough for one person's greed also. If you take one person's greed, the whole universe is not enough. But if you take everyone's need, there is lot of surplus available in this universe. Okay, so we have to understand that, and we have to have that bhavana of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and keep moving ahead. That will give us Chitta Shuddhi. Okay, the idea is Chitta Shuddhi very clearly. Okay. From there, he now moves to a topic which is called, which is how do Shrestha Achara. Achara means how do I conduct myself in the world outside. And what is Shrestha Achara? And it's a very must, because at the start itself, as a human being, as a part of this animal kingdom, we are all part of the animals who have the human being with animals with intellect equal to human being. So few things are going to be very common. It is always by looking at someone, the next generation will learn, keep moving ahead. Okay. The young one of any animal will look upon to the mother and then learn. The mother teaches how to hunt, the mother teaches how to, the monkey mother teaches how to jump. So the child also learns. Like that, Shrestha Achara is very much required. And all our children also, right from birth. Because there is no qualification called this person is Shrestha and this person is not Shrestha. No. For a newborn baby, only the mother is the Shrestha, because continuously that child is with that mother. Then later on, family, everyone will become Shrestha, because mother, father, then if there are other brothers, sisters, grandparents, whoever are there in the family, they are, because it's a day to day and they learn by seeing it, and they are very, very, they don't have any, I mean, this is good, this is bad, and all, like, they don't have those intellect. Whatever is there, they will just imbibe. Okay, and that is a basic nature of all of us. So if we are in a company of not good, we will imbibe not good. If we are in a company of good, we will imbibe good. Because by imbibing it, we really do not know what is good, bad, or anything. That is how it just goes in. Okay. So Shrestha Achara from that perspective is very, very important. We have to be a role model not only for our children, for anyone. Because very clearly when you look at it, this yadyadacharati shreshtaha tattadevetaro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. How much ever you tell someone, see normally in houses and all, we keep telling our children, be disciplined, you have to be disciplined, shista pahiye. But when it comes to our behavior, we are beshista. Now, how much ever we tell the child will not understand. Why? The child, whatever sees, will do. So, if you want the child to do, you have to do it. That monkey and that the hat, the person who was selling the hat, the same story. If you want the monkey to throw the hat, you have to throw the hat. And that's how children will learn. So, there is no way to say that. And in certain families, sometimes it is really bad also. You can see that they will teach the children what they are not supposed to do. This is only in the house, huh? Don't go and tell this outside, don't do outside. How will that child know? So that is absolutely incorrect. Why? They also learn that they can do this outside. I can be one person in the house, I can be a separate person outside the house. Okay. So these things are very, very important, and that is the main thing of upbringing. Wherever children who have got a very good culture and very good upbringing, they will be, when they grow up, they will be sound with their mind. They'll be mentally quite balanced. They will not be very, very irrational and jumping across extremes. No. And wherever that is not there, you can see that they are depressed. There is a lot of issues when they grow up. And the health of the society depends on all this. Look at just the culture which we have, these very small things. Of course, a lot of things are being imbibed now. We are changing it also, but still, to a great, great extent, it is still preserved in our country. Parents, then children, till a particular age, they will all sleep together. It's a big difference. In Western countries, right from the child is maybe some few months, sleep separately, be independent. Okay, It is not a question of whether which is right and which is wrong, because when there is an emotional support required, that emotional support only will come from the near and dear ones, elders that time. Maybe for 4 days the child will cry, and after that the child will learn to live. But that 4 days of crying has got its own impact on that child when the child grows up. Okay. Same way that for various reasons people live together. This living together, and then maybe after children, people get married also. Directly, indirectly, it has a lot of impact on that child's psychology at the time of growth. A lot of impact will be there. That ownership, that oneness, all those things will be missing. Why? You are not committed to that relationship, right? Now you are doing it fine because of we put a garb of various things around. It could be because, oh, in these countries and all, it's a big responsibility. There are so many other things you can't very easily break it out. It's a very costly affair. Yeah, but then don't you need that emotional, what is the question of this costly affair and everything? You need it, right? That after few years I have the choice to separate and stay with someone else. Then later on you see that this lady and that man, their children are playing with, so your children and my children are playing with our children. Okay, this situation is not a very cohesive one, I'm saying. All the love, care, everything will be there, but finally it has to be on a firm ground. And when a firm ground is there, see, simple, when we sow seeds, when the plant has to come, there is a lot of work done on the ground before sowing the seed, right? That quality of that ground, the how much effort you have put on that ground, that will impact the way that tree is going to grow. If that very superficial fly by night, simple, our acharyas and all will say simple. The moment you are talking of we are in a relationship and not getting married, it is only arthakama, not even arthakama pradhana. Maybe sometimes it is artha pradhana also. There is no place for dharma at all there. That is dharma. Dharma means I am ready to give up some of my comforts for proper conduct, for my growth and family's growth, society's growth, everything growing together. Now, when such a thing is there as an individual, do you expect that to come across families, into a society, into a nation? So that nation's character will also be that way. Okay. So it is a very these are very subtle, but they are so deep rooted. They are very deep rooted, and especially it has a big impact with children. And when whichever children have been blessed with a very good initial few years, when their emotional abilities are developing, and if they get nurtured at that time, then they will grow up into a very good human being. And if that misses out, then there is a problem. Remember in the first chapter, Arjuna says, Kulakshaye pranashyanti, Kuladharma sanatana, Dharme nashte kulam kritsnam, Adharmo bhavatyuta, Adharma vibhavat Krishna, Pradushyanti kulastriyaha, Strishu dushtasu varshneya, Jayate varna sankaraha, Sankaro narakayaiva, Kulagnanam kulasya cha. Suddenly, someone coming out in the school and removing the gun and just firing around. Later on, they'll say the person is mentally disturbed, unstable, needs a treatment. But that's all not coming just because of one day. Such a lot of baggage which is there right from childhood, right? So it is a very responsible thing, and that is why this Shrestha Achara is our basic duty. You may be into any of those scriptural studies or spirituality or religion, all that is separate. Our basic achara, dharmam chara, I have to be a good human being and within that framework, well disciplined. That's most important because looking at that, not only children, you do not know how many are looking at us. I'm sure you'll also would have faced so many times when someone very unknown, some child, maybe in few buildings, uncle, I see you, you do this every day. I like it. You are my inspiration. Suddenly they will come and just tell you, and you'll be shocked. Oh my God, I never knew that this child also, and I never knew I was doing something by which this child has got it, and that child has got motivated out of it. You will see that, that's a very common thing because never just think that who is going to bother about me. No, there are millions of eyes looking at you as Shrestha. You are not aware of it, and hence Krishna tells Arjuna, you have to have Shrestha Achara. If you behave irresponsibly, who are the people who are looking up to you as the king or the future king, they will also behave irresponsibly. At least not for your sake, but you have a big responsibility towards the nation, towards the society, towards the family, towards the culture, towards traditions, so many. So you cannot afford to behave irresponsibly. Okay, so Shrestha Achara is very important. Then he starts giving few. He says, see, the logic comes how Arjuna, if you are going to cry and run away from here, is that Shrestha Achara? Answer is no. How many people have given up their own comforts and have come to stand with you or against you? Don't you have a responsibility to them? Is this Shrestha Achara? Okay, so one way it is, so you have to do it, but then do it like Karma Yoga. Then he again comes back and tells that, see, understand, if you consider you as a normal person and you look upon someone as Shrestha, that Shrestha should do much more than what you are doing, correct? He says, I am no example, I am no different to that. If you see, I am a jnani, I have no whatsoever responsibility and karma in this world. Krishna very clearly says that I have no responsibility whatsoever. I don't have to do any karma in this world. But I will do it. And if you are doing it for 15 hours, I have to do it for 24 hours. Right? There are so many bhaktas who are looking upon, and if I say I'm going to take a sick leave and a PL, and what will happen to them? So if I am considered as Bhagavan, then I have no leave at all. Correct? But if you look at my responsibility, I don't have to do anything in this world, yet I am doing it. And then he gives examples. Janakadayaha. Being Grihastha, they are very nicely Ashwapati, Janaka. They are all Ashwapati is Kaikeyi's father. Ashwapati. Kaikeyi's father is Ashwapati. Okay. And Janaka, they are all known for being Grihastha Jnanis. On the other hand, he says you don't have to take sannyasa to become a jnani. You don't have to run away and then no peace of mind. You can have it very much in Grihastha Ashrama only by Karma Yoga. Simple. You know, there is a story. Shuka Brahma Rishi, Vyasacharya's son. The Shuka Brahma Rishi is a brahmachari. And his father was behind that you get married. Because Vyasacharya was a married person. That is why Shuka was there, and their rishis, they had rishi patnis, all those things were there. And we know in Mahabharata he had to, he had to play a role to get the next Vamsha outside and all. Fine. But Shuka was very clear, no, no, I will not get married. No, I have to focus. Jnana. He says, look at my student who has learned, who is very well managing things, complete Grihastha, Janaka. So you go to his place. So Shuka goes there, and then there is a series of things happening, many things happening. Okay. And finally, Shuka learns and agrees to Janaka. Okay. So one day, this Shuka was teaching Janaka about Atmajnana. And to test him, there was a situation created. The situation created was people would come running to Janaka because Janaka, along with his courtiers, were all sitting together to learn, saying that Mithila is under fire now. Okay. So the moment someone came and told Mithila is under fire, all the other people just up and ran. So let me look at my house, what has happened, my near and dear ones. Janaka was sitting there. So this sage is asking why you're not going, your kingdom is in fire. He says, all this fire and other thing has no matter to me. I'm already in that fire 24/7. That will come, that will go. After this Janma, another Janma will be there. But right now, when this Jnanam is available, I cannot leave that. So to test his Jnana Nishtha, this was done. And Janaka was absolutely calm and composed. He says, let that Mithila burn. Mithila is not me. His answer was, Mithila is not. I'm not burning. Let Mithila burn. Doesn't matter to me. Okay. So you can very clearly do Karma Yoga. That means do all your responsibility without being attached to it. And that is why this Shrestha Achara becomes very, very important, that when you have in the mind this Karma Yoga, other than Kamya Karma, you become a very responsible person in the society, and everyone looks upon to you for that inner growth. Right? So Karma Yoga helps, not only that, it makes you a very responsible person without attachment. Without attachment at all. मतलब बोलते ना कीचड़ पे कमल का फूल. के कीचड़ में कमल का फूल.
But as a wasn't it responsible
Can't hear.
Karma Yoga?
Huh?
No, I'm saying that as a king wasn't Janaka's responsibility. I mean, he was not attached, but it was his responsibility, right? As a Karma Yoga, shouldn't he have gone?
What? For
What
what?
am I not at?
For what?
Janaka.
No,
didn't
for
go,
what?
right?
Go for what?
To help save country, no?
No, no, what he will do. When it is a fire, when it is a war, it is a different thing. When it is a fire, what is he supposed to do? Everyone are going to pour water and try to douse it. For that, people are there, right? The king need not have to go and pour water, or they will not wait. No, the king, please order us, then we will. So he doesn't have to do anything. If it's a war, it's a different thing. That is why it was fire. So, see that clarity of, is it really, do I need to do something there? No. Even suppose, even if the palace is under the fire, what will Janaka himself do other than sitting and looking at it and crying? Who are to put water, they will get water, run and come. Janaka anyway cannot carry water, run and pour the water. He will not do it, and he is the king. He will make people do it, right? So in this Apat Dharma, there is no discussion. It is all just do what you have to do at that time, and they will be doing it. No strategy, nothing required. He said, I am not required there. Whichever way you see it, clarity is very much there. Huh? You have to be. That is why many a times just activity does not mean that we are doing something. Huh? वो बोलते हैं ना, sometimes we say ना, if we don't go there, how they will feel. So I'm not going there for that occasion. How they will feel for that I'm going. Many times they say, "Arey, if we don't go there, how they will feel." This is the most stupid thing then. If you genuinely believe that you have to go for the occasion, then don't bother about their feeling, you go for the occasion. If you don't want to go for the occasion, but you are thinking about how they feel, go on easily on a relaxed day, go and meet them and come. They will not, they'll feel good only. That means वो दोनों mix करके I am messing up my own mind, and a nice way to remove my guilt, उधर जाके सर दिखा के आएंगे. अरे ये क्या सर दिखा के आना क्या है? These are fooling ourselves. Are we getting it? So these type of activities are something which is absolutely not even karma. Forget karma yoga. They are not even karmas. They have the boldness. No, I'm sorry. I don't think I will be coming. It's fine. Nothing wrong in it. And that is another thing. We feel that we are indispensable. If we don't go there, nothing will work there. That is the worst thing. In fact, everything will happen very smoothly if we don't go. That is the reality. And COVID has proven that. Everything is working very smoothly without we going. And now everyone are happy also. Don't worry, we will send you the link. So you don't have to come. Indirectly, that is another reason. Perfectly fine. Na? Exist very well. Coexistence it is. Anyway, coming back to the topic. So, Shrestha Achara is a very important thing. So, he gives his own example, he gives Janaka's example. He says, so, bottom line is, my dear Arjuna, you have no chance to run away. You have to fight. If you have to fight and you have to do such treacherous job, the only way is remove your attachment from it by making it a karma yoga. Think of a bigger thing rather than just a Drona and a Bhishma. Automatically, you will foster more courage to do for that bigger cause rather than just these two people. Okay, so think big and be responsible. And once you take the responsibility, there are many who are going to follow you. And that following will not be just by saying, because you said, because you have put it in practice, they will follow you. Sayat pramanam kurute, you have set an example. Lokastad anuvartate, they will blindly follow you. That is a monkey mentality. Most of the people are that way only. They need one leader and everyone will just follow. Herd mentality. Everyone will just follow it without even thinking. Okay, so do it. Do your responsibility. Okay. Then comes the third one, which is Kama Krodha Jayam. Okay. Kama Krodha Jayam comes in the last portion, which starts from 36th shloka. Okay, 36th shloka. Now, now this Kama Krodha Jayam is a topic which is actually asked by Arjuna in a different way. Why did he ask that? See, he says, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharma Swanishtitaha Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha Paradharmo Bhayavaha. These are all, some of these, if we start explaining, I'll tell you, Swadharma itself has to be defined first. And Swadharma in such context and all means, if you are a Brahmana, you have to do Brahmana karma. If you are a Kshatriya, you have to do Kshatriya karma. If you are a Vaishya, you have to do Vaishya karma. If you are a Shudra, then you are not supposed to do any of these three karmas. Paricharya, you are going to help the three. Okay. And all these are contributory to the society. You are not a Brahmana because of anything else. This is your contribution to the society. Kshatriya, this is your contribution to the society. Vaishya, this is your contribution. And Shudra, Shudra, that is one of the best way, the way they have defined it. The most lucky person is the Shudra. Because others require an eligibility to go to the master and learn. Upanayana has to be done, something has to be done, you have to go to the master has to accept you, and then you will get into learning. But the Shudra, just by serving the master, he is privy to all the knowledge when others are being taught. उसमें पूरा सीख जाता है वो, all knowledge just by serving. That is why that word shushrusha. If you see this word shushrusha, the meaning of shushrusha today is what? Serve someone. Correct? इसका शुश्रूषा करना मतलब you serve this person. Correct? But from where is it coming? Shruyati, shushrusha. Listen to good things. And when you are listening that, you are actually serving. So it gives you an opportunity to learn good things. And for that, what do you need? You just have to be a servant in a good master's place. Nothing else. Because that time and all, food will be given to you. Whatever job has to be told, that will be told to you. You are keeping on doing, but you are always, your ears are open to everything what is happening there, and you are freely getting it. Okay, that even the disciple doesn't get, because he is there only for a period of time with the master. But this servant is there all across. Okay, and that is how that, because it's a very, very direct way and a very easy way to get knowledge. So if our understanding is Shudras are not being given the privilege of knowledge, no, they do not have a responsibility in the society. That is the right way. They are privy to knowledge, but they don't have responsibility in the society. The other three have responsibility in the society. Shudras will support these three for them to complete their responsibility in the society and indirectly serve the society. Isn't it a very nice and a holistic way to ensure that everyone are taken care of? Ladies, gents, everyone are taken. No one is left. The Vedas do not. That option itself is not there that you will not get knowledge. That is that if someone says that you cannot get knowledge, then it is misinterpretation of the Vedas, the Shastras. Ekalavya himself, without the teacher, has got the knowledge. Tell me. That just that Shraddha and Bhakti has got that much of power that without the teacher knowing, the knowledge of the teacher comes to the student. What more you want? It's a practically, all these things are very clear. Okay, mind has got that much of power. So there is no question of the moment you are born as a human being, Purushartha is there. Getting knowledge, if not anything, Atma Jnanam is your birthright. Everyone's birthright. Are we clear? Okay. So now Arjuna is saying that, okay, all this what you say is correct, but I still feel that by killing them, I'm going to get papa. What makes people to do such a papa? Why do people do papa? Cannot they do papa? Without papa, cannot they be happy? So the question is asking, Ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati. What is that motivation, or what is that which pushes people to do papam? And then what? Anichannapi varshneya. Bina ichha ki, I don't want to do it, but I'm pushed to do it. You say, in the office, I don't want to do, but my boss is pushing me. I have to somehow do it. Anichannapi varshneya. And how? Baladiva niyojitaha. Simple name. It is just pulling me with such an amount of strength that I cannot resist it now. I feel very weak in front of it. What is that thing which makes me do that? That dreary black monster in me, what is it making me do that? Is the question. Why? I'm supposed to fight. Something from inside me, like a monster, is telling don't fight. By not fighting, I'm incurring papa. By running away, I'm incurring papa. But that is so strong. After you have already told me such a lot, but still it is making me do this papa. Why? What is it? And that Krishna now starts explaining from 37 to 43. A very simple way, but a very, very, very important, because he tells how is our body mind complex working. He is talking about the mechanism, how it works. And once you know the mechanism, then you know the levers of control. See, when you sit in a vehicle, first day, the key is not even given in the hand. When you want to learn it, they will ask you to sit in a dummy vehicle, steering, or this is the clutch, this is the brake, this is the accelerator, these are the gear, first gear, second gear, reverse gear, all those things. Something so that you get familiar with that. Then slowly try to start it. So this particular, what he says is that system of how it works, how our mind and body complex is working, we need to know it, because then we will understand the levers of it. If we know the levers of it, then only you can operate the levers. Without operating, knowing to operate the levers, just by our experience, this is what works for me, need not be that it will work for you all the time. So understand this mechanism. Then when you work with it, then you have a chance to at least go ahead positively. Okay, that is what he is explaining. He says there are two, you know, they are called as twins, or both either side of the coin. Not our Chole's coin, huh? Heads on both the side. No, heads or tail रहता है ना, पैसा वाला coin. So two sides of the coin. One side is called Kamaha, the other side is called Krodha. Kama esha Krodha esha, main culprit. They are the main culprit. Why? They are Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. They propel you to take action. उनसे काम करवाते रजोगुण, action oriented they are. Correct? Rajoguna Samudbhava. And they are how? Mahashanaha. कितना भी दो और खाएगा, उसको जितना तुम पेट भरने के लिए दियो और खाते रहेगा और बोलेगा और भूख लगता है, और ये वो खाते 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 तुमसे इतना पाप करवाएगा, महापापमा. दे आर द फर्स्ट नंबर एनिमी. सबसे बड़ा एनिमी कौन है? हु इज द बिगेस्ट एनिमी ऑफ मी? आई एम द बिगेस्ट एनिमी. करेक्ट. उद्धरेत आत्मनात्मानम आत्मानम अवसादयेत आत्मैवि आत्मैहि बंधुः आत्मः एव रिपुः. It is, if I consider it to be my friend, it will be my best friend. If I consider it to be my enemy, it will be my biggest enemy. If I feel I sense that I'm good for nothing, my everything. Any situation also, I will manage it. You will manage it. My inner self is my biggest friend or my biggest enemy. Now, out of the enemy part is what? Kamaha and Krodha. Okay. How do they work? You know, they have different ways of operating. So every dawn has got their own signature way of operating. ना पहले इसको भेजो, फिर बाद में देखो उसको थोड़ा स्कैर दैट पर्सन, उसका घर पे थोड़ा इसको उसको थोड़ा ये करो, डर जाएगा, वैसा. They have their own ways of working. So like that, based on हाउ मच हमारे पास ये धरोहर है काम और क्रोध का, हाउ मच ऑफ बूटी वी हैव, हमारा लॉकर में कितना है, उस हिसाब से दे विल स्टार्ट कवरिंग अवर बुद्धि. If I have got very little, they have an ability to cover very little only of my buddhi. If I have got medium, they will cover only medium. If I have got a lot, they can permanently cover my buddhi. They have a fantastic ability. For that, three examples he gives. धूमेन आव्रियते वह्निः यथादर्शो मलेन च यद उल्बेन आवृतो गर्भः तथा तेनैव आवृतम तेनैव आवृतम. How these three coverings are there, similarly kama and krodha will cover my buddhi, my EQ will cover my IQ. The level of EQ coverage depends on the quantity what I have, the quality what I have. Accordingly it will, बोलते ना उसका फन फेंकता है हमारे ऊपर, it will cast its shadow on us accordingly. How? The first one is, whenever you have a fire, as the smoke envelops the fire, correct? Normally the color of fire is colorless or small blue tinge. You will know it in a chemistry lab when you are using a Bunsen burner with an oxidizing flame. दूर से देखेगा तो मालूम भी नहीं पड़ेगा, इट विल बी जस्ट सम अमाउंट ऑफ वेपरिंग और समथिंग, ऐसा ऐसा हिलेगा बस. एक्चुअली उधर आगे बोल के दिखेगा भी नहीं. ओनली व्हेन योर फिंगर गोज फ्रॉम देयर इट विल बर्न. दैट इज द कलर ऑफ द फायर. हाउ डज इट बिकम येलो? जस्ट बिकॉज envelope of smoke. The carbon monoxide is actually giving the color to the flame. Okay, so that thin layer which covers the flame is called dhuma avriyate vannihi. Because of that dhuma, you will not be able to see the vanni. Sometimes हवन विवन में देखो बहुत धुआं है, अंदर वन्नी है मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा, पूरा धुआं से कवर है. बट हाउ इज इट? हाउएवर थिक दैट स्मोक विल बी, थोड़ा फू फू करेगा तो निकल जाएगा. Okay, so a person with sattva guna pradhana, with very less kama krodha, or who knows how to handle it very well, for him it is like dhumena avriyate vannihi. Is it clear? Now comes the next variety. थोड़ा accumulate करके बैठा हुआ है, बैंक 10-10 बैंक पे थोड़ा काम क्रोध डाला है, अच्छा इंटरेस्ट मिला है, ठीक है, ओके, तो सब लेके वापस री इन्वेस्ट करके he has got good amount. Okay, and how does that work? Yatha adarsha malena cha. So when you go outside, छुट्टी पे जाते हैं 10 दिन के लिए, the house is locked, then you come back and you are tired. Where do you go first after coming back? Straight in front of that mirror to see how I am. पूरा इतना थक के आया, कैसा दिखता है, काला हो गया क्या ये? Go in front of the mirror. देखा तो वहाँ क्लियरली दिखता नहीं भाई, one layer of dust. Now you try cleaning that. यहाँ से किया तो इधर से उधर जाएगा, उधर से इधर आएगा, it will just keep moving. फिर वो करो, ये करो, पेपर डालो, वो करो, and then slowly after a point of time it will start. So you have to put more effort to remove that. So sattva guna type is like the fire and the smoke. Rajoguna type is who has got some amount of good kama krodha, where some effort is required to clean it up so that the buddhi will start working. थोड़ा मेहनत ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा. Okay, that is the second one. The third one is more or less our category only. We all know it very clearly because we have invested even in shares, Bitcoin, सब जगह डाला है. Our kama krodha is just multiplying. With every WhatsApp it is coming like dividend, आते रहते हैं, मिलते ही रहते हैं, है कि नहीं? तो भर भर के है हमारे पास. And that kama krodha, how does it work? Yada ulbena avrataha garbhaha. As the fetus is covered by the womb, it takes nearly 9 to 10 months. You have to protect the child inside. Why? To uncover. The mother cannot say, let me look at the child, and then no, the child is inside the mother only but still covered. Okay. And after that particular period of time, after itna mehnat karne ke baad, after all the troubles, then only that covering is removed out. बहुत तकलीफ देते हैं, बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ता है. सो यद उल्बेन आवृतो गर्भः तथा कामक्रोध तेन आवृतम. आवृतम what? बुद्धेः आवृतम. My intellect is clouded like smoke onto the fire, like layer of dust onto the mirror, like thick womb around the fetus. So each of us, don't tell others, you can think which category we belong to. Accordingly, see, once you know, then only you will know what to do with it. है कि नहीं? अभी बच्चे को जब तक मालूम नहीं कि उसको पासिंग मार्क्स से आ रहा है, then he will not know कितना मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. If he doesn't know, he always feels that, oh, 35 is fantastic. So then there is a problem. So first is giving a perspective, भाई ये है, अभी individually देख लो किसको क्या है. Then we have to work on it. Okay. So the scale has been very clearly now defined. Kama yesha krodha yesha, and what do? They form layer, and this layer is like Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Tamo guna has got that crystallized ego called Kama Krodha. What is ego? Ahankara plus Krodha equal to Mamakara, which is ego. Manitvam, Dambhitvam. ये सब निकलने को बहुत टाइम जाएगा. Otherwise, they work in a much milder fashion, and for a sattvic person, he has to simply sit and Om. It will just go off. He will immediately get his emotional balance instantaneously. Okay. So they give example of a clay ball and a rubber ball. This clay ball, you just put thap, बैठ जाएगा, and permanently gets fixed. A rubber ball will bounce back. So if you have to bounce back, even it may come, you can't stop Kama Krodha. Please understand this thing. This is very, very important. If we say that I should not have Kama Krodha at all, that is stupidity. Then what do? It will come. Always understand, a thought coming is beyond our control. Any thought. But continue thinking on the thought, usko fanning it, is in our hand. When the thoughts, I have no control over it, and I should not feel guilty, because that is a job of the mind of any thought which can come. But the moment I fan it, बोलते ना, you're playing this game मराठी में, साकली, सोन साकली गेम हम लोग सब बचपन में बहुत खेलते थे. So one person जिसका den है, he will go and make someone out. Then these two will hold the hand and make the third person out. Like that, a big chain will be formed, and finally the whole chain will go and try to catch the last person. Okay, that's the way it is played. So like that, it will form one after the other, like that. That is only when you fan it. If you don't fan it, that thought will just vanish off. You will not even know it. So Kama and Krodha is actually making a sakli out of it, the thought. And once the chain is there, the chain is going to bind me only. Okay, this Kama and Krodha are attachments. What is Kama? Desire. What is Krodha? I don't get it. Our Swamiji nicely says, first I love, first I love, then I allow. First I love, then I allow. This is Kama and Krodha. Simple. So this part has to be very clear that what is it that is actually making me getting entangled into it. I need to know when to stop that and break it. And the moment I know it, then I can protect myself. I can't stop what is coming, but I can protect myself from whatever is coming. That is in my hand. Right? Okay. What do they do? Avritam jnanametena jnanino nityavairinaha. Even for a jnani, they are nityavairinaha. In, in Durga Saptashati, there is a nice shloka. Mahamaya prayachati relent. Jnaninam api chetamsi Devi Bhagavati hisa balad akrishya mohaya Mahamaya prayachati. Jnaninam api, even for jnanis. तो हमारा तो बात छोड़ ही दो, वी आर अज्ञानीस. For jnanis who are jnananishta, who are already attained that jnanam completely, inside them also Devi Bhagavati hisa, she Devi Balat Akrishya Mohaya. They will be tested again and again, and they fear that Mahamaya Prayachati. They fear that is because to hold on to that is a big tapasya. And in Viveka Chudamani, they say when a person is nearly that jnani and then he slips, he gives an example how it will be. Take a handful of marbles and drop it at the staircase on the top floor. Where will it go and stop? You decide. That is where that person will just come down suddenly. And examples are there. You take a Vishwamitra, take a everyone have थोड़ा ज्यादा तपस्या हो गया तो उधर से रंबा मेनका उर्वशी वो ये आके डांस करेंगे, दिस पर्सन गया. Okay. Otherwise, some this war, that war, this demon comes, Krodha, Gaya. So, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, that is the weakest point. Immediately you will fall a prey to it. How much our jnanam is there, still it is very natural, very easy to slip. That is why he says it is Maha Ashana, it will keep on eating as much you can. Endi nahi hoega. Okay, then now he gives the sequence. How does this work? This body mind complex, he will teach us how nicely it is. Indriyani manobuddhi tasya adhishtanam uchyate. Indriya, manas, buddhi. Session code, high court, supreme court. So indriyas they are all my spies who will go out. वहां से लेके आएंगे अंदर. लेना बैंक वाले सब जाएंगे बाहर लेके आएंगे. वहां से it will go to the mind. The mind will process the environment. I do not know whether I have given you this nice chart. BMI, OET, PFT. किया है? नहीं याद आ रहा है. ठीक है. Take a paper, one full page you take and simply write. सबसे ऊपर लिखो V. लिखते जाओ. पहला लिखो. अपने आप you will form it properly. Don't worry. Write V first. Put one line and make three. There has to be three ways where it comes down. We are making an organization chart jaisa. From V, then you have got three which is coming. Okay. On the first three may you write B, second may M, or third may I. Please leave space because we have to fill what is B. लिखना पड़ेगा, word लिखना पड़ेगा उधर. Accordingly write it. Okay. फिर उसका नीचे तीन लाइन डालो वापस. 1, 2 3, बी का नीचे एक लाइन, एम का नीचे एक लाइन, आई का नीचे एक लाइन. Then write OET. O for orange, Imi, T for Thailand. Okay. Then again put 3 lines like the earlier one and write PFT. PFT. Okay. Now, so I will just tell you what you have written. See whether you have written it properly. Now we'll fill up each of these. What does it denote? First is V, उसका नीचे 3 BMI, उसका नीचे OET, उसका नीचे PFT. Right? B is body. Now you can fill it. Body. Intellect. Body, mind, intellect. लिखा? Have you all written this? Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, now. Yes.
Now we could hear your
Okay. Okay. I think the signals were. Wait. Let it stabilize. Let it stabilize. Don't worry. Are you able to hear now? Can you? Okay. So B, body, M, mind, I is intellect. Is it okay? Body, mind, intellect. Just speak out. If you can't understand, if you hear me,
body, mind.
yeah, body, B is body, M is mind. Signals are very fluctuating. Wait. Okay. Are you able to hear now? Okay. The next one is OET. Object. O is object. E is environment. T is think. THINK, think. Okay. Then PFT. The third one, PFT. P is perceives. BMI. Level. OET in the third level. It has to get interchanged. Don't worry. able to hear? No. Are you able to hear?
No, sir. Sir, can you no speak?
Yeah. P is perceive, F is feel, just 1 minute. Huh? Activity is very poor. Are you able to see it? Body, mind, intellect. Perceiver, feeler, thinker. Object, emotions or environment. T is thoughts. So, body perceives the object. Body perceives the object. Sthula Sharira. Perception of the object are five jnanendriyas. Correct? The mind feels the environment. And the intellect thinks about the thoughts. Very nicely it is this is given by Swami Chidmayananda. Very, very okay. And this is how that whole system works. What we will do is just write it down. I will also send it in the WhatsApp. The image I will send in the WhatsApp, or even you can just Google it, you will get it. Okay. There are different ways to show the same thing. But this is what is clearly mentioned in this Indriyani Mano Buddhihi Tasyadhishtana Muchyate. Okay. And this system, how it works. if we know it, we know where the problem is. Is it at the object and the perception level, or is it in my mind, or is it in my knowledge? Due to which karma and krodha is coming, you can easily now start understanding it very clearly. Okay, we will develop on this, but then it's a very small topic which we will complete. And what I propose now, the third chapter will get over with this. Okay, what I propose is, once we complete the third chapter, I would want to spend some time in seeing a movie together. Okay, and this is Adi Shankaracharya movie in Sanskrit. Now, the movie which we will see, as much as you will understand the contents of it is one part, but the way it has been directed, why this background is there, what is the logic, because very few words are there in many places, but the picturization of that is too good. Okay, whatever is not said overtly by the director and producer is what we can see it actually the way it is shown. So that movie may be a 90 minutes movie or so, but will easily take 4 or 5 classes. Okay, because then it gives us a different way of looking at things opening up. Then we will again a break. After this, again we'll come back to the fourth chapter summary. Okay, so I'll put it also in the WhatsApp. Some thoda beech mein break, something which is going to be more something juicy rather than Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. You would have also got tired later. So see it. There is a lot to learn from that movie. Okay, and the Sanskrit one will have subtitles, so some amount of Sanskrit knowledge will also come by that. Okay, simple words will be there. Let us try to see what it is. Yeah. So after I complete this part, complete the third chapter fully, little which is there balance, then we will continue with the movie next time itself. Once we complete the movie, then we will get back to the fourth chapter. Okay, G.V. Iyer's Adi Shankaracharya movie in Sanskrit. Very beautiful movie. At least I have explained this 2 times to different groups. I still love to see that again and again, because every time it connects to so many things. You will start, because now with this background what you all have for 2 years, what you have learned, with that when you see the movie, otherwise that movie is okay, you will say it's a nice art movie, over, but it doesn't teach you anything, but it's got such a lot of knowledge in it. Very beautiful, very nicely blended, very nicely thought about. According to me, it's a very perfect movie, very perfect, lot to learn from that. Okay, so the background which is not told, also some background from his history, when you understand, see, you need to know about, if you are going to learn Advaita, you need to know about Adi Shankara. Then that reverence comes. Once that reverence comes, then you would say, my God, whatever missing out, we should learn it. Okay, from that perspective, it helps a lot. It's a very nice way. Okay, so we will see that from next class. Maybe I don't know timelines as we go, and that will be more. You can stop, because after 1 minute or 5 minutes, half minute, it will be paused. You will not see the movie fully at all like this. Either they again continue from the piche aage jayega. It is a learning movie. It is not for enjoying and seeing the whole movie to understand. It's not on the life history of, no. That life history anyway you will understand it as we go. वो तो समझ जाएगा. That's the least of the benefit I would look at. But there are many more things which is very good. And I am very certain the moment I put this, many will come. देखो अभी कितना लोग हैं, वो दिन देखो कितना आता है. मूवी है ना, मजा है. चलो वो मूवी 4 दिन 4 लेक्चर बोलेगा तो 2 लेक्चर के बाद वापस टप 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 गिर जाएगा. हाँ, ये क्या अभी सर भी कितना देखने को भी नहीं छोड़ता है, बोर मारता है सर. ठीक. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Shubhara.
Very much. Thank you.